So you're currently struggling with art block. Pretty much every artist knows the feeling. This is my solution to overcoming this, as well as using it as an opportunity to help improve your artwork overall. I like to find an old artwork that I've done that I think I can improve upon. I will have a look at it, critique it, figure out what I can do better, and then redraw it. In this case, I have chosen a flash sheet that I did last year of some Japanese sweets, and I thought I could make it a bit better. So there were some areas for improvement that I could see here. I did the original piece with alcohol markers, and because of that I had a limited colour palette that I did want to stick to when I did this original artwork. However, due to this, some of my shadows weren't dark enough to give enough contrast throughout the whole piece. So that was something that I really focused on. I did still stick to a limited colour palette as I wanted the whole piece to be cohesive in that way, as they are individual artworks kind of put together. The main reason that I wanted to switch to digital art for this piece as well is because I wanted to make this into a sticker set. So for me, when I'm creating stickers and prints, I find it a lot easier to do it digitally, as I know my colours will be more accurate when it comes to printing and will be a good quality for printers. As well as the fact that I would like to practice digital painting more as well, and in different styles. I wanted to keep this quite bright and colourful to play into the cute nature of all of these snacks. When I am painting digitally, I really only use two brushes, which are standard brushes that come with Procreate on the iPad. So I use what's called the Studio Pen to do my line work and where I want more solid blocks of colour, and then I will use the soft airbrush for all of my shading. When I first started doing digital art and using the tools like the airbrushes, I tended to overblend my colours and everything would kind of look wishy-washy and everything was just overly blended, it wouldn't be sharp. So practicing with these brushes really has helped me figure out the balance between it. If I want a nice soft blend, I'll make the brush really large and do it that way. And then often when I do that, I'll use the select tool to help make sure I mask out areas I don't want the colour to go. If I want quicker transitions between colours, I will make the brush smaller where I still want to blend. And then if I want solid colour, I will just use the Studio Pen. This is why redrawing art and focusing on different areas that you think you can improve on is really helpful. So this method helps get out of art block because I'm drawing. It helps me get pen to paper and move forward, instead of getting that feeling you get when you have art block where you start beating yourself up for not drawing and not having ideas. The idea's already done for me, I can just draw and get some ideas going, and then the next piece to come up with tends to be a lot easier, as well as having that opportunity to look at your old art and critique it, figure out what you can work on to help you improve and to force your art forwards. By doing this, it does help me focus on my blending and using the tools digitally to get a better outcome. It is good to look back at your old art and critique it and figure out what you can do better, but it needs to be from an educational standpoint. If you looked at all your old art and critiqued it for no reason, you're just going to feel bad about your art, which is not the case. You need to use it as an opportunity to see where you can improve and work on, but the artwork itself can still stand alone as something good. It doesn't mean it's bad. If you want to critique it and improve it, it's not a bad artwork to begin with. And that's something to keep in mind when doing these types of activities. I look at the old one, I'm like, it's cute, I like the aesthetics of it, that's why I wanted to redraw it. I don't think it's necessarily bad, but there is room for improvement, and that's not a bad thing. It does not mean the artwork is bad. And sometimes I feel like there's a concept that I have tried to explore, but I could continue to work on and make it better, and that's not a bad thing either. Even if I don't want to copy a piece line for line and just take the concept of a piece and then reimagine it into something new, that also helps get rid of art block. The main reasons for art block is just because you feel stuck and you feel like you can't come up with anything new or interesting to draw. If you try this method out, that part is removed for you. You can start drawing something that you like, you're passionate about, and it just takes the pressure off of trying to think of something new. When I'm doing things like this, I will spend the time to flick through my old sketchbooks and have a look at my old ideas that I never really developed. I'll even go back and look at drawings from years ago when my skill was a lot lower than what it is now, and I can redraw it to see the difference in my artwork. And I think that's a really fun activity to do. Sometimes you don't really take that moment to look back and see how far you've come in your skills. Art block can really knock you down and make you feel not great as an artist. I feel like working in a creative industry, you need to be creative, and when you feel that art block, you don't feel creative at all, and it brings in a lot of doubt. At least for me, it's really important important to look back and see the improvement over the years, to see where I started to where I am now. It really helps as well with that mentality. It makes me realize just how much I have improved, and it helps get rid of that nagging feeling that I need to be coming up with new and creative ideas. My brain's already come up with a lot of ideas in the past, and I can revisit them. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't need to be brand spanking new every time I sit down to draw something. Revisiting these old ideas can also help create new ideas. You can take the basis of an old idea and develop it into something new, and that can branch off into a million other things. Don't just need to sit down and think from nothing. There's so much you can pull from. I think that's what this method really helps with, is pulling from old ideas to help create something new. It doesn't even have to be new. Like in this video, this is pretty much me drawing the exact same thing but coloring it differently. And that helps for me to just keep drawing and come up with new ideas. Or with some of my reels that I've uploaded lately, I can take old drawings and just completely redraw them and push them into a different direction. There's a lot of different opportunities that come from doing activities like this that I think is really worthwhile. Even if you're not having Artblock, I think it still really helps. Here are the final shots of these stickers. These stickers are actually available on my website now, so if you're interested, there's a link in the description box below that you can follow and check it out. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to watch another video where I talk over my process, I would recommend watching this video here that talks about realism and commissions, and I'll talk through my process on how I do a realistic drawing. Thank you so much for watching.